Alright, welcome to Rockabilly Customs. Chris here, Mr. O Copperhead, and today we're going to be dry locking. Wait, why do I keep on calling this dry locking? Well, let's see. If you jump over to my reptiles page, you'll see why, because I dry lock a lot of my enclosures. Every single one I built, they're dry locked, so I'm used to saying that. Today we're going to be putting this liquid deal down just right here that is a heat barrier and noise reducer. We're going to do the whole floor, and we're going to do inside the quarter panels, and we're just going to take a good old paintbrush and start going to town. Now, if I don't have enough to do the trunk area, I'm not worried about that. That I'll actually just bedline. So yeah, so I vacuumed this car out previously. I pulled everything out. If there's anything loose in here, well, it's just gonna get locked down with the with this stuff, except for that metal piece, that metal. So yeah. All right, well, this is gonna be time lapse, so sit back, enjoy. I'm gonna try not to make this no 20-minute time lapse. I literally want to get this done. There it goes. All right, everybody. We got the, I just stepped in a little bit of it. But we got the first coat. Well, first we went with the first coat, and then after I got it completely covered, I started pouring it in the floor panels. Okay, where your feet and all that goes. And I did the tunnel that way. Because this is a technique that I learned whenever I do my reptile enclosures. Okay, I'll show you real quickly on one of them. So on this one, you can kind of see some white over these rocks. Well, this, first off, this is insulation foam with dry lock on it, and I lightly brushed over with granite white to give it that look. Well, I use that same technique on the brush in here, and what that did, well, it allowed me to put a really thick coat of this stuff on here. Okay, so yeah, it is probably a good I don't know how thick, at least a 1/4 inch thick, and maybe thicker in some spots. But we got all the way up under there to where the mat that I put in, the pill and stick heat insulation mat that I did the firewall and the whole roof or ceiling, went up to that, and I made sure I didn't get wires, even though I did get a little bit of wires. Not too worried about it, you're not going to see them, and this stuff's not going to eat at the coating or nothing, so we're good. So went up to that, then got around the sorry, door shut on. I pushed a little too much on the door, went ahead and shut. But went through there, and I did where the speakers go. I did the inner fender welds too on that side. I did on this other side too. Got all the way up there to the trunk, and so we're good. So we're good. Now, how long is this going to dry? I do not know how long this is going to take to dry, and there's no goddamn way I'm going to leave this thing this color. Okay, I do not have money for the carpet yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in here with paint, and I'm going to paint this floor black after this sound ending all dries. So what this is supposed to do is supposed to insulate and keep the outside heat out, but the inside temperature about the same. Supposed to keep it inside. Okay, with the exhaust system running underneath this floor panels and underneath this floor, it would heat this thing up pretty damn hot. So hopefully this is what's going to stop it from doing that. And then when I'm running AC in here, hopefully it keeps it nice and cool in here too. So because I got sound deaden and heat barrier on the bottom, firewall and ceiling, so we should be nice and cozy and have real good sound out of here and not rattling at all. So yeah, now like I said, how long is this going to take to dry? I do not know, so who knows. But once I'm gonna make this a 2-part video, so it won't be too long. So if y'all want to see part 2 of this thing fully dried and painted black, hey, y'all know what to do. Subscribe. So but just look at it. This is a noise and heat barrier, so keep heat out from the outside from getting in, and keeping the sound from rattling and all that stuff, so it'll make it sound good in here. Now I am going to come back with stuff to go where the speakers go for those, and these 6x9s back here. Sorry guys, you can't really see them right there. Yeah, I got 2 6x9s. They're Kenwoods. For my front, they are a little dusty, but they're focal speakers. Yeah, right there you can see it. They're 131 CA1 access, focal.com. Real good magnet on the back of it. I like it. I mean, carbon coil in here, or whatever you call this. I got to clean it up because, like I said, dust just naturally gets in here. So I do that. So make it sound really good in here too, just with the speakers. And then as long as my alternator holds up, but the alternator has been gone through and upgraded. Hopefully it will hold up to the amp that I'm putting in here. I don't want a crazy amp in here that runs no 1,000, 2,000 watts. I don't know, maybe a 500 watt or an 800 watt system would be good enough in here. So hey, if anybody out there is good at electronics, can you kind of help me with that one? Because this thing, being a thumping motor that it is, I want to put a good sound system for subs, and I like Kenwood, so I'm probably going to go with Kenwood. But running the electrical and stuff like that to give the proper AC or voltage to it, to the amp, without draining my battery. That's it. Like I said, we went through the alternator and I went and upgraded it with the copper and everything like that, and different flywheel on it. So hopefully it holds up. We'll see. So yeah. But again, just wow. Now I did get a little bit right there in that rail. I'm not too worried about it because I got something goes over that blue as a the little stat pad to go over that, so I'm not too worried about that. So let this all dry, and then I'll put the panels back in after we paint it, and we'll paint it, then put the panels back in. We'll put the seats in, we'll put the center console in, get that all hooked up, get the CB working in here, and then we'll start working on finishing the gauge cluster, because the gauge cluster is, there's the mower. I haven't messed with it since the last video, and that's been a while. Alright, it's going to be in the trunk, and I got the window in the trunk, so don't worry, that's not going to fall. Of course, I'm going to move it, make sure it doesn't fall in the middle of the night. Last thing I need. But I got a gauge cluster I've been building for that I need to finish. So yeah, all right, well, I'm done chit-chatting. If y'all want to see this dry lock, there we go again, this sound deadening all finished, y'all know what to do. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. I will see you on the next one. Bye. Oh yeah, another little thing that I did was to able to get the angle in that car like I did. I cut this 2x4, and then I took one of those feet, put a screw through it, anchored it down. So therefore, when you loosen that, you got full motion that way. Okay, and then with this clipped into there, that's going to allow you to actually tilt the camera, boom, 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 boom. So that's how I was able to get those angles in there without this thing falling over, because I don't got the magnet or anything like that that will allow it to stick in there. So redneck engineering right there at the finest.